Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Just for Math. In this video I want to show you how to evaluate inequalities with absolute value. Before I begin, let me quickly recall the formula or the definition of the absolute value of any number, say x. Let x be a real number, alright? Then the absolute value of x is defined as a piecewise function x, alright, where x is positive, and minus x when x is negative. So this is how to define the absolute value of x. What does it mean? It means the absolute value of any real number 2 is equal to 2, since 2 is positive, right? And the absolute value of minus 5, for instance, will be equal to minus of minus 5. According to the definition, that will be minus of minus 5, and that is positive 5 according to this definition. So whenever x is negative, the absolute value is negative of that negative value, which is positive value. So it means the absolute value of any number is actually the positive of that number. Okay, and at times you can say the absolute value is 0 when x is 0, but this is a trivial part of the definition of absolute value. We work with just these two: x when x is positive and negative x when x is negative. Okay, let me quickly show you using my awesome tool GeoGebra. So let's see the absolute value of, let's say, the graph of the absolute value of x. The absolute value of x is equal to, can you see the graph? Okay, this v-shaped graph. So in this case, you can see that at all points, any positive value take, any positive value x takes, you return a positive value. If x takes negative value, the absolute value still returns a positive value. So you can see it is all above the positive part of y-axis, okay, whether it is negative or positive. So if the absolute value of 2, if x is 2, the absolute value is 2. Can you see that? If x is 4, the absolute value is 4. If x is 1, the absolute value is 1. So this is the graph of absolute value of any given of a given number. Okay, since we've seen this, what's my focus? My focus is how to evaluate inequalities with absolute value. You've seen the definition. Now it means, let's take an example to explain the concept or the main idea. Okay, we've seen the definition of absolute value of a number, and we've seen the graph of absolute value of any number. Okay, let's take an example. Evaluate the absolute value of 2x minus 5, all right, less than, say, 3. All right, evaluate the absolute value of 2x minus 5 less than 3, strictly less than 3. Of course, let's recall the definition again. For absolute value, the absolute value of a number x is equal to x if x is positive and negative x if x is negative, right? Okay, since we're given an expression, and the absolute, and we're told from the express inequality that the absolute value of this expression is strictly less than 3, what it implies is that it's either negative 3 is less than the expression in the bracket 2x minus 5, or that expression is less than 3. All right, now let's solve for x. In this case, my aim is to simplify this expression at the center of, or the middle of, this inequality, such that we'll be having only x right here, only x. So the first thing I can do is to add 5 all through. So I'm adding 5 to uh, each term. We have minus 3 plus 5 less than 2x minus 5 plus 5, strictly less than 3 plus 5. Okay, and this is 2 less than 2x, strictly less than 8. Okay, the next step is to divide through by 2. When you divide this part by 2, divide this by 2, and you divide this by 2. Okay, now 2 in 2 is 1, 2 you cancel 2, and we have here to be 4. And finally we have our answer as 1 less than x less than 4. All right, so it means that the range of values of x that will satisfy this inequality, okay, are values between 1 and 4. Okay, let's try that out quickly. Let's pick x as 2, since 2 is within this interval. Okay, substituting 2 in this inequality, we have 2 times 2 minus 5, and 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 5 is equal to negative 1, and the absolute value of negative 1 is 1, which is a value strictly less than 3. Okay, you can pick another number, 3. 3 is in between this interval. All right, let's try that again. So this is the absolute value of 2 times 3 minus 5, and this is 6 minus 5, and that is the absolute value of 1, which is also 1, and 1 is strictly less than 3. So all the numbers between 1 and 4 are those values that satisfy this inequality, the absolute value of 2x minus 5 strictly less than 3. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and watch out for another version or another lesson on absolute value. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel in case you're yet to do so. Goodbye.